Let me hit record. All right, so let me back up a slide or two. So welcome everybody. Today is our Genetic Ambassadors call for January 2020. Happy New Year. We took a little hiatus for December, but we are back in January. So, hey Maria. So I'm Christy. I think I know most of you on here, but I thought we could start off with some introductions today, and then I have a four-item agenda here. Lots of excitement building around the genetics pop-ups and Rare Disease Day, so I want to be sure to update everybody on that. We do have a Facebook Live coming up tomorrow. We'll talk about that a little bit. And then I've been at the request of some of the genetic ambassadors last year, keeping an events calendar that we review on each of these genetic ambassador calls. So I've updated that, and you are gonna be shocked at how packed full it is for the next couple months. So let's start off with introductions though, so I can make sure and write down everybody that's joined the call. So Susan, you are the first one on. Do you wanna introduce yourself real briefly?
I'm Susan Owens. I got into mountain states because my family had a lot of exotic kind of genetic things going on, but it's very complicated. And so I'm really more an advocate for those who have complex combinations of things that are going and creating a problem that people can't understand. And so I'm an advocate for people who are on their journey.
That's a good way to put it. Well, we're glad you're here. Thanks, Susan. And which state are you from? Let everybody know.
Oh, I'm from Texas, and I do autism and chronic disease research.
Great. Thanks for being here today. And Winton, I think you were next.
Hi, everyone. My name is Winton Wood. I am from New Mexico, and I have different hats. I got this consumer scholarship just this past summer, I think it was, Christy.
Yeah, you
and attended.
September. In September, you joined us. Yep.
Yeah, and attended the annual conference this fall, which was fabulous. I have a daughter with Down syndrome, and I was, when I applied for this, I was an disability information specialist with UNM's Center for Development and Disability, and since then I have become a MEVIA consultant, which is a consultant for our developmental disabilities waiver for the state of New Mexico.
Great. Thanks for being here, Winton.
Thank you.
Mary, I think you joined us next.
Yes. So my name is Mary Meeker, and I'm currently the Executive Director for Family Ties of Nevada. We're a statewide nonprofit that helps families with children that have been diagnosed with special health care needs. And I was asked to join this group through our Title V group that does our funding. And I'll tell you, the thing that I really found it interesting, and the thing that I enjoy about it is my background is actually in blood banking. I spent 24 years there with our local blood provider. And so it sort of links to genetics and that kind of thing. And, just a scientific piece of it, I really have an interest in that. So that's kind of my background and where I am. I have two children with special health care needs. So, it's just kind of right up my alley. So
we're so glad you're here. Thanks for joining us, Mary.
Thank you.
And I saw Maria join. Are you there, Maria?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, I can hear you. Yep, go ahead. You want to introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Maria Castillo. I'm from Colorado. My son has also a genetic condition. It's a syndrome. He's not available right now. Like a Tuesday and Thursday, he actually does volunteer work at Children's Hospital.
Yeah, he's a busy guy.
Yeah, he's pretty busy. He doesn't want to miss Children's Hospital at all. He loves to be there. It's like his second house, he say.
His second house?
Yeah. So he doesn't want to miss those days. So, yeah, Jesus and I, we've been involved with Mountain State for, I think it's going to be, maybe 2 years already.
3 years, probably, maybe two and a half, 3. Yeah.
Yeah, 2.5, I think. Yeah, and the purpose is to learn more about the genetic topic. We're learning a lot doing these pop-ups. Jesus and I, we did one last year, I think in April. and we trying to get ready for a couple more in Colorado. So we kind of excited and not nervous, but wonder, you know, how it's gonna be, because there's a lot of questions this time about, you know, the person who accept us to do this presentation about recording, and they're excited about the
Lots of you've gotten a lot of logistical questions this time.
I do, yes, and that actually came from Grupo Vida, which is one of the organizations who accept us to present this topic. And there's another one through Development of Pathways. I have learned that Development of Pathways is actually supporting this person, Sylvia, from Familias Especiales, Special Families. That's the name of the second papa that we're doing. So yeah, the Grupo Vida is coming out with more questions. They wanted to make it kind of like a big, and you know, so that's what I ask you those questions about the logo, about recording us, about some of they're talking about Zoom also. Doing like we're doing it right now.
Now.
Wait a minute. So that's something that with Jesus and I, we're thinking about it. So
you're doing great navigating it all. I was gonna say, you're an old pro at the pop-up thing, since you already did it last year, but now you're getting hit with some other, so they want to make it bigger.
Yes, they are, especially Grupo Vida. So we'll be in touch, Christy, with if they actually were talking about the Zoom thing, but I don't know, I'm just thinking about it. So I would talk the bad thing, well, not bad, but the lady from Grupo Vida, she's gonna be out starting today for personal issues, and she's the director of Grupo Vida. So I'm gonna be in contact with another person who I know him from Denver Advocacy, Bob. So I'm in contact with him about details about the presentation. Elisa is not gonna be available, but I think things is gonna work okay. I think there's not gonna be a problem. So.
It'll be good. And if you don't want to record this time, you just tell them, hey, maybe next time. Yeah. Don't feel pressured.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate that. Okay.
All right. And I think Heather joined us. Heather, are you on? Oh, I can't hear you. Are you on mute? I see your mouth moving, but I can't.
There she is.
My mouth is always moving.
Are you a ventriloquist?
Yeah. Hi. So are we just doing quick introductions? I'm sorry.
Just quick introductions. Yep.
Okay. So hi, I'm Heather Schichtel. I'm the executive director with Miracles for Mido here in Denver, Colorado. Also on the state team. So excited. I think we have some great updates. Some really good things that are going on in collaboration with Mountain States and what we're doing with Miracles for Mido.
For sure. I got you on my agenda here today, so we'll talk more about you in a second. All right. I saw Mary Jo Palladino's name come up. Mary Jo, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, Mary Jo Palladino. I'm here in Castle Rock, Colorado, and I'm with National Family Voices. Hello, everybody.
Yeah, glad you joined us. And then I think I have two showing up that are just phone. Did I miss anybody, or if you're calling in, your name's not showing up? Do you want to introduce yourselves? One might be Mary. Oh, go ahead. Is that Jamie?
This is Jamie. Yeah.
Hey, Jamie. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Jamie. Okay. I'm Jamie Stefanski. I am a PT neuromovement practitioner. I have two kids with Hoover-Fong syndrome. I'm on the Mountain States Colorado State team, and I'll be hosting a pop-up in May. I think that's everything I'm supposed to cover.
Yeah, perfect. And you're in Colorado. I think you guys said that.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Did I miss anybody else? Anybody else on joining us today? All right. We'll see if we can catch anybody that joins at the end then. So I have my agenda up here for today. I wanted to give you guys a grant application update, so I'm going to go right to that. We had an opportunity in October. The grant continuation was announced. It was a 4-year competitive continuation grant, and it was due on January 14th. And I wanted to just give you guys, as advocates, some of the terminology with this, just so as you're out there advocating, if you hear it, This was released by a NOFO, and a NOFO stands for Notice of Funding Opportunity. But these are all posted on the HRSA website as funding opportunities come up. They're also posted not just for HRSA, HRSA's Health Resources Service Administration, their specific ones are on their website, but then grants.gov has all grants and financial opportunities available for the United States government. So anyway, NOFO HRSA 20-46, you can look that up and you can see what we were given and what we had to reply to. But this was a 4-year competitive grant renewal. And so we had to turn that in. We turned it in on the 13th, a day early. And we are not sure when we will hear back from the decision about that. It was for all 7 regional genetics networks. So they are not changing the name of the genetics networks, and they're not changing the states that we cover. So everybody at the same time was turning in their applications for their respective regions. If we are funded, the grant cycle will start on June 1st, 2020 But I did, oh yeah, go ahead.
This is 4 years instead of 3.
It is a 4-year.
It was before.
That's correct. It's a 4-year cycle versus a 3-year cycle. Yep. And this is a whole bunch of words, and I didn't mean to overwhelm anybody with words, so I just did some bolded things. But this is from the NOFO, what I referred to as a Notice of Funding Opportunity. And this is really where it just said the purpose of the program, and they highlighted some things that the RGNs had to do to accomplish what their goals were for the program. So this top one, I think, probably relates to all of us as consumer advocates the most, which is that each RGN or regional genetics network will accomplish the goals by developing and implementing a mechanism to identify individuals and their families with or at risk for such genetic disorders and connect them to genetic services with a focus on individuals who are underserved. So you'll see that that's pretty similar to what we were asked to do in this grant cycle, with focus on the underserved population and connection to genetic services. One thing that did change in this grant cycle, or this grant application, was the second bullet point says coordination with the Advances in Integrating Genetics into Clinical Care, or AIGCC program. This is a new program from HRSA. It's taking the place of what used to be called NCC, or you guys have heard of me maybe refer to as National Coordinating Center, or NCC, which is the group that gets the grant to coordinate all of the regional genetics networks together. So they do things from a national level with all the regional genetics networks rolling up to them. So their name has now been changed to this Advances in Integrating Genetics into Clinical Care. And as you can see by the name, there is a much bigger focus on educating professionals, specifically primary care professionals, with education, training, and other resources to improve their knowledge of genetic conditions. And so to me, this is a exciting change and difference, and we're looking forward to seeing how that rolls out. The third bullet point they had was facilitating the implementation of telehealth. If you've been on any of our calls or at any of our conferences, you know this is a big focus of the current grant cycle, and using telehealth and telemedicine. And so that continues on in this application. And then the last but not least, they did rename what we currently know to be the National Genetics Education and Family Support Center to National Genetics Education, Family and Support Program. And so this is the grant that is currently held by Genetic Alliance, and Family Voices and Parent to Parent USA are partners on that grant. But this grant here was also part of this renewal. And so this is just saying that as regional genetics networks, we will work with the grantees who get that grant in providing education to families, especially those who are underserved, about genetics and genetic services. So that's just a little bit of an overview. Mountain States proposed back that we're going to continue in doing a lot of the things that we are already doing, with some exciting expansions and additions. One thing that you all will be excited about is that we wrote in there to continue the genetics pop-ups, because they have been very, very popular in Mountain States. And I'm going to talk about that in just a second, but I'm going to switch gears real quick over to our Facebook Live. So the second point on my agenda. We have a Facebook Live coming up tomorrow, and Heather, who's on the phone, thank you, Heather, is going to be featured on that. And we are going to be talking about genetics advocacy and support. We have some questions about how to advocate within and without your disease-specific communities, how to connect with people who might not know anything about your genetic condition that you're advocating for. So in order to see this live, you guys can tune in tomorrow on the Mountain States Facebook page. I have the times there. It's actually the same time as we're meeting right now, 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central, noon Mountain, or 11 a.m. Pacific. You just go to the Facebook page. If you should get like some little indicator that we're live. There should be like a little red thing that says live. If you don't see anything, you can click the videos tab, and it should show up there, or it should just be the top thing, the top post. If you come in late, don't worry, you didn't miss anything, because it will be there for eternity. So you don't have to. We would love for you to join us live, because you can type in questions and things like that. But if you can't make it live, it's okay, because it will be there and you can catch it later. So thank you, Heather. Do you want to say anything about your Facebook Live appearance, your debut?
No, just that it was a lot of fun, and thank you, Christy, for that opportunity. And yeah, no,
tune in tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Awesome. So kind of going along with that is something else related and associated with Facebook, and I'll transition here to our pop-ups, but we've put out a Facebook challenge. We are really close to 900 likes. I think we're at 830 something or other. So we only have about 60 or 70 more likes to go to reach 900. And I thought it would be really awesome if we got to 900 by the 29th of February for Rare Disease Day. So as you're out there talking to people, as you're sharing things on Facebook, if you could, I'll post this graphic again. It's been about a week since I posted it, but I'll be posting this again. So if you want to share it or tag some people, you can tag some people in the post, and then they'll be like, "What's this all about?" And then you say, "Please like our page." But please help us get to 900. And I think the pop-ups will help this a lot, because you guys will be having access to a lot of people who don't know about Mountain States. So it'll be a great opportunity too. Yeah.
Christy, I have a question, and this is the million. I always ask the same thing, probably for the Spanish speaking, for this Facebook Live thing tomorrow live. And also actually 2 questions for the grant. There's anything included there for Spanish speaking? Because I know the website there, I saw that there's a section that is for Spanish, the flyers, and there's a couple of the things that I saw in there the other day. Kind of checking to see what's in there, because if we're doing the pop-ups and we're gonna pass the information, which is most of it in English. I checked the material yesterday, and there's some in Spanish, but I think you mentioned that you're running out of the pamphlets.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have more for Spanish, and also for the Facebook. What are the there's a chance there's gonna be something later, Heather, for Spanish speaking, in case somebody wants to connect. Because let me tell you, not me, but a lot of the Spanish speaking families, they love Facebook.
Yeah.
And that's how they communicate. I mean, I'm not fascinated I don't have the time, honestly, but there's a lot of families that I know they use the to communicate.
Right.
Facebook.
Right.
So I don't know.
So let me answer. You have a couple questions. You have a couple questions there. So the first one is, we have we're only running low of the printed Spanish brochure. So we sent you enough to cover the people that are coming to your pop-ups, but the ones that are electronic, those are available on our website, and you can, people can print as many as they want. The reason we didn't order hundreds and hundreds of more is because we're coming to the end of a grant cycle, and we will have to re-put on, if we are refunded, there'll be a new grant number, and we'll have to change all of our materials to the new grant cycle terminology that they give us. And so we didn't want to have to reprint and throw a bunch away. So that's why we ordered only what we needed for the pop-ups, and directed everybody electronic otherwise. And the Gene in the Box page on the website does have a lot of things that are English and Spanish. And so we're available. I have linked the Spanish version of that as well. So that's a great place to direct people to. We did not do Heather's interview in Spanish. And we did not have an interpreter or a translator yesterday, and I don't have subtitles. So that I would love to do one of these Facebook Lives with somebody who speaks Spanish and could ask the questions, and with somebody who would answer in Spanish. So I would love ideas on how to do that, because I think you're right. Everything that I've read about different cultures, different people who have different languages. The social media is at the top of ways to communicate. Some people use WhatsApp or WhatsApp app, and there's all these different types of social media platforms that are very popular with certain different ethnic and cultural groups. So I hear you loud and clear. So I would love, as you're out there doing your pop-ups, Maria, if there's somebody out there who wants to, who would like to do a genetics Facebook Live, I would love to talk with them. I do not know Spanish, so I would need somebody to translate for me.
Yeah, but there may be some experts, I know a lot of the moms love that and they talk a lot about it. I saw like Xiomara from Jeffco use a lot of the Facebook thing. I'm pretty sure Sylvia, the other lady from Aurora. And like I say, I know that's the way they communicate each other. And eventually, I think I see the genetic topic right now pretty new for our population, but I know eventually will be something that everybody can talk about it more, comfortable, more open. Right. And I think we need to be prepared for the Spanish-speaking population, like some other cultures.
Well, it just made me think of too, you're looking for a speaker for El Grupo Vito's conference in the fall. Even maybe having somebody record something. I think we talked about this before. Somebody that maybe can't get there on site, maybe we could have them record something. We could archive it on the Mountain States website, and then you could play it. You could play it through the technology at the conference at El Grupo Vita. So just a thought.
That's a good idea. Yeah, and I mentioned that to Elisa. She was kind of excited about it from Grupo Vita. So yeah, we could talk about it, but that's something that,
Great.
It's a process.
Well,
Chrissy,
go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, this is Heather. Along those lines, we have a nurse who is actually one of our MIDO nurses who I believe is fluent in Spanish. So let me connect with her and see if we can, if anyone has questions after the pop-up and are primarily Spanish speaking, let me see if I can make that connection.
Oh, that would be great. And then can you connect with Maria, since you guys are both in the same state, same area? That's awesome. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Heather.
All right, so I'm going to switch gears to our genetics pop-ups, because this is, my thing keeps skipping there. This is what we've been spending a lot of time on since we turned in that grant. It's been full speed ahead with pop-ups, and I know a lot of people on the phone are hosting pop-ups, but super exciting to announce that we have all 8 states in our region represented with a pop-up. And I want to remind everybody, I don't know if the Colorado team, you have quite a few of you on today, remembers this call that we had, I don't know, probably a year ago, when I think it was Michaela suggested, wouldn't it be really cool if we had all of our 8 states doing something for Rare Disease Day? And this is an accomplishment of that goal. So thank you to you all as genetic ambassadors for making that happen. This is a general flyer that I've made up and put on our website, just as announcing that we're having the pop-ups. And then this is our map that I've put together with the circles designate where the pop-ups are being held. And on the right-hand side there, you can see a list of who's having them. And then I have the dates here coming up as well. So we have 16 happening confirmed. I'm waiting to hear back from one more in Texas, possibly in El Paso, and that will make 17 pop-ups. And I think before we started recording, Susan asked a great question and said, how did you end up with so many pop-ups when you were only expecting 8? And the reason we ended up with so many is we had eight budgeted for, and we put the application out for 8 pop-ups, and we had 14 applications. So there were 14 that came just from the applications, and then there were 3 pop-ups from last spring that needed to be carried over. Mary was one of them, and Kenneth Allen, and then one in Texas, because they just weren't able, it was unable logistically to work out for the last spring. So 14 plus those 3 brings us up to 17. We were able to get creative with some budgeting. We went to some of the state teams and asked for some assistance. Colorado State team jumped in because they have 5 happening in Colorado. And so with some creative figuring out of how to get these all funded, we have 17 on the map. So super exciting, and that's how it happened, Susan. How we went from 8 to 17.
I was impressed.
Yeah, so this is a map I put together, just the map from the page before. But here's here you can see combined 2019. We were aiming for 8. We ended up having 5 of those occur, Susan being one of those. And Jamie and Maria did ones last time as well. And then this year's, you can see, I think the next map I'll do is overlay all of them together and show the grand total there. So super fun and exciting to get the word out about genetics in our region. So we are having a Rare Disease Day theme. I would encourage all of you, if you've not checked it out, to go to rarediseaseday.org. It's the National Rare Disease Day website. They have a great map on there for all the countries. If you click on the United States map, it takes you to a United States page, and you can see a rolling list of all the events going on in the United States for Rare Disease Day. So I've entered 2 events so far. I'm working on the rest this week, but we have both Wyoming events are public and open to the public and want to be promoted. And so those have been submitted. I have to check back. They usually ask for 2 to 3 days before it appears on the list. So I'm waiting to hear back a confirmation from them that those will be up. But you can search by date, or you can search by area. So that's neat to kind of see if there's anything else going on around you in your state. And then just wanted to point everybody to the genetics pop-ups on the website. If you're looking for any of that information I was talking about earlier, like the Gene in the Box resource kit, we now have in the For Families tab, if there's a drop down that says genetics pop-ups, and all your genetics pop-up information is under that tab. So that's something new that we've added to the website. Just wanted to make sure that you guys knew where to find that. So the next couple slides I have are big events going on in our states that I wanted to highlight for you because these are ones that are being advertised nationally. So I just wanted to make sure you guys were aware. Arizona, this one is being done at the Children's Museum of Tucson, and the organizer of this event also got a pop-up. So she's doing a genetics pop-up at this event. But they have free admission to the Children's Museum in Arizona for Rare Disease Day. So this is exciting. Colorado Rare and Action Network and Colorado Rare have joined up together, and they are doing a Colorado Rare Disease Day at the state capitol on February 27th. So I wanted to make sure everybody also knew about this one, especially Colorado folks on the phone. And the details, this is not a clickable link, but if you go to the Colorado Rare page or the Colorado Rare Action page or the Colorado Rare Facebook page, there's information and you can link to that. In Nevada, the Little Miss Hannah Foundation and Carrie Ostray is having a Vegas Cares About Rare 5K. This is happening on February 29th, and our Nevada folks that have a pop-up coming up after this. So their idea is they're going to go pass out flyers at the 5K and then meet up about 2 weeks later for dinner and networking after the pop-up, or after the event for a pop-up. And then this one is happening in Texas. This one's also organized by the Rare Texas, and it's Rare Disease Day for in just outside of Houston, Texas, in Sugar Land. They're having a big family-friendly event with live music, games, and more. So if you're interested in that, you can go to raretexas.org to get more information about that. So that brings us to our calendar. I know we have like a couple days left in January, but I have our grant proposal on there. And then Kathy Lewandowski already had her pop-up this weekend. I'm still waiting to hear back from her how that went, but that was on the 25th, this
Christy?
past Saturday. Yeah.
I just want to back up real quick. Could you send me that flyer for Tucson? I want to send it over to our people here in Albuquerque at Explora, our children's museum. They're working more and more with children who have, different conditions, special needs, and I'd like them to maybe consider in the future that they sponsor something for Rare Disease Day.
Okay,
but I'd like to show them that that flyer.
So you want the Tucson flyer to Winton?
Yeah.
That's Winton talking, right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, so this is the one you're gonna fall over. So this is February for our Mountain States Genetics calendar, and you can see the bulk of our pop-ups are happening in February. With starting off with Maria and Jesus on the 8th. Then there's an evening with genetics happening in Houston, Texas. I wanted to put this on here because this evening with genetics program has been going on for years and years and years and years. It's just you had to be in Houston to attend it. And Susan Fernbach, who works for Baylor College of Medicine, is on our Texas State team, has agreed to do this by Zoom. So I'm super excited about this because this means that the information presented at these Evening with Genetics events will be available for the rest of the country, the rest of our region to see, the rest of the world to see. So the next one coming up is on the 11th. It's on Turner syndrome. And it is available by Zoom. So I have the details of that, and I'll be putting it on our Facebook page if anybody wants that. Then Maria and Jesus do another pop-up on the 12th. Jen Bonna in Montana is doing one on the 12th. There's a Texas Genetics Conference that our Texas State team is participating in El Paso on the 22nd. Kenneth Allen is doing his on the 27th in Wyoming. And Colorado Rare that we just mentioned at the state capitol is, I'm blocked there, on the 27th as well. Melody in Wyoming is having an event at the Riverton Library on the 28th. Rare Disease Day itself is on the 29th, and you can see we have a bulk of, we have a large number of pop-ups happening on Rare Disease Day. So Mary, who's on the phone, is having hers on Rare Disease Day. Brittany in Colorado is having one at Colorado Children's on Rare Disease Day. Melinda in Arizona, that's the one I just talked about with the Children's Museum. That's happening on Rare Disease Day. And then Utah, I'm just waiting for confirmation of the date, but I think Utah's is going to be on Rare Disease Day as well. We have the Little Miss Hannah 5K, and then we have the Texas event in Sugar Land. So a lot going on in our region. Through all sorts of organizations and collaborations and partnerships for Rare Disease Day and going forwards. So let me go to the next one. We do have a couple other pop-ups that are, couple other pop-ups that are going to happen just after Rare Disease Day. Becky is doing one in Arizona. Becky is a genetics counseling student. So her and her 4 classmates are going to go into the high school, a couple high schools, and do a genetics pop-up in Arizona, which is super exciting. Heather, I've got a week of 3/9. Do you have a date for me? Oh, you're on mute.
I'm working on it.
You're working on it. Okay. So it's still the week of the 9th. It's possible.
Yes.
Okay. So that's going to be in Colorado for Heather, and then Amy and Hannah are working on one for Las Vegas on the 13th, and then we have Elvira and Josie are working on one that's confirmed now for New Mexico on the 13th. Some of these are private, so they're not all public events, meaning that they're not, all whoever wants to come. Like, for instance, Elvira and Josie are doing one at, I think, a public health outreach clinic. Amy and Hannah, I think theirs is going to be public. Heather, I think yours is somewhat public, right? Yeah, so some of them are public and some of them are private, and so that's why I've just listed the dates and things. But if you want more details on any of these, just reach out to me with email. So I did a combined calendar for April through December. I'm gonna have to split this out soon because it's not gonna fit on here. But Texas is gonna have one. Elysian, who if you were at our summit, heard talk about the sickle cell disease pop-up she had last year. They're gonna do that again. They're just trying to get the date finalized for their conference. And then Jamie, who's on the call, is having hers in May. And I think that will wrap us up for our pop-ups. So our pop-ups will wrap up then. And then I put a note on here that our last day of the Mountain States grant cycle is May 31st. These are some other events that people have suggested to me. There's a Living Rare, Living Stronger in Cleveland, Ohio in May. There's a National Down Syndrome Society meeting in Adult Summit in Phoenix. In June, there's also a Down Syndrome Congress. If you know anything's going on that you would like me to put on this, whether it's be disease specific or advocacy or rare disease, let me know, and I'll just keep this as an ongoing calendar just so we can keep things on our radar in our region. And they can be regional, they can be state, they can be national. In September 2020, the Global Genes Conference, which I think Heather went to last year and told us about. And then November 2020, Montana is having a transition conference, which I just found out our Montana team supported this year. It's transitioning for special needs individuals into adult care, from pediatric care to adult care is the focus of that conference. So that's our calendar for right now. Does anybody have anything that just off the top of your head that you would like me to add going forward? Or if not, you can email me if you feel more comfortable doing that.
So Christy, I have a couple things. So the week of Rare Disease Day.
Yep.
So February, I'm looking at my calendar now. Oh my goodness. So the 24th through the 28th is, that will be in DC. There's a whole legislative meeting about going on around Rare Disease Day. And then there's also on May, I want to say it's May 3rd, there is World Orphan Drug Congress.
Say it again, Orphan Drug Congress?
Right.
Okay.
Which, I've been invited to. I'm going to try and attend. I've never attended it before, but I guess there's about 3,000 members from like different pharmaceutical companies, all focused on orphan drugs. So
great.
That's
if you have like any details, like a website or anything, could you shoot them to me?
I will.
Okay, I'll look them up. I'll see what I can find. Who's sponsoring the February 24th through 28th? That will help me find the link. Probably.
You know what? I'll send you the link.
Okay, perfect.
I want to say it's through EveryLife. That's where my travel stipend came from.
Okay, gotcha. All right, perfect. Thank you so much. Anybody else have any additions that they'd like to add to this? Or feel free at any time. If you hear something, or I know we're all on a bazillion newsletter list. So if something comes across your desk and you're like, oh, Chris, you should put that on, you can just forward me the whole newsletter and say, see the event on the 3rd or whatever, and I can add it to the calendar. So just wrapping up here, and then we can have some time for discussion. So I just wanted to make sure everybody knew the For Families tab is where all the consumer advocacy stuff is placed. We have drop downs now for Genetic Ambassador, where I archive all of these calls. We've got your genetic questions answered. So if you miss Heather's on Wednesday, I'll have a YouTube link up there in about a week of that, and then the genetics pop-up information. It's all under this tab here, the For Families tab. And then I think everybody on here, maybe I'm missing a couple. If you're not part of our Genetic Ambassador Facebook page, let me know and I can send you an invite, not an invoice, an invite to join that, because it's a place where I put kind of just-in-time messages, hey, this is coming up, can you get the word out? Or, hey, I just heard about this scholarship. So it's just a nice place also to connect with one another on Facebook as well. So if you're interested in that, send me an email. I need to know your email that you use for Facebook, because I have to send it to that email, so the invite, so when it recognizes you when you log in. And that's it. It's a short call today because we've got a lot going on, but I just wanted to leave some time for Q&A and brainstorming as well. There's all my contact information where you can find me. But I think once we get through our pop-ups and stuff, I'd like to bring back some speakers, having some speakers on our Genetic Ambassador calls. I just knew it was important to make sure everybody knew this information about what's going on in our region, since so much is going on in our region for Rare Disease Day. So thank you, all of you, for participating and getting the word out and spreading the genetics awareness in our region. But I'm gonna stop talking and let you guys let it open for questions and brainstorming if you have any thoughts.
Christy.
Yep.
Question about this.
That's your DNA kit.
I know, but so we had to make it as activity, or should I play Jesus and I with it to see how?
You guys can build it at home. You can build it at your event. It's there's instructions on.
Is it in here in the instructions? I haven't opened it. I just look at it. And I noticed there's only one, right? For both boxes.
I don't know. Maybe Annette. I don't know if Annette put 2 in for you or not, because you had 2 pop-ups, so she might have put another one in the other box. Did you find one or not?
Yeah, I saw one only. I checked the other box, but I haven't really looked well. So maybe it's on the bottom of the box, but I just know this one was in top. So I was like, I remember you showed something about it.
So it's new. Hang on, I'm going to share my screen. It's new this year. So these are little kits. Hang on, I'm going to share my screen so you can see. These are little kits that we found, that I found on Amazon. They're not very expensive, and it allows you to build your own DNA. So here's the instructions, and I'll send you this link in an email.
Okay.
So you can see these are the base pairs, A, T, C, and G, and then this is the base, and then these little pegs, you put one on, and then you put a peg, and then you put another base pair on, and you put a peg. So you literally build it all the way up, and then there's these strips. I think the one I have is pink and blue. Here, I can show you. Can you see that? Mine is pink and blue, and then you just, they are little, there's little slots in the pink, and you can just put the little ends of these foamy things in, and it makes the double helix.
Okay.
Kind of fun. Just
interesting.
Fun.
You could put it on the table and see if somebody wants to do it at your event, or you guys could build it at home and take it with you and pass it around. Now, you have to be a little bit gentle, because one of my little pegs did snap, so they're not super hardy, but it still stands up. You just have to balance it.
Okay. Thank you. I'm just
totally up to you. Go ahead,
Christy.
Yeah.
Can you put the link to buy that on our group somewhere?
It's actually on our website.
Oh, it's already there?
Yeah, if you go on the Gene in a Box, we have a section that says new for 2020. It says DNA kits instructions. You can click to get can you guys see my screen?
and to purchase here.
Yeah, and then you can see purchase here. And then I know these were so they're about $10, $11, and they were like $9 whenever we bought them last week. But let's see.
Oh, okay.
Let's see here. I can go back. Anyway, let me stop sharing.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. The other thing that's on there, I put the link where you can get the fuzzy DNA, because everybody wanted more fuzzy stuffed DNA. So that link is on there as well.
Okay.
And then the National Geographic. Did you get your National Geographic in your box? The one that's the magazine. Looks like a magazine.
Yes, the yellow book, I think.
Yeah, the yellow book.
Yeah, that's for me, right? I don't need to pass that, because it's only one and another Spencer, isn't it? I think you mentioned that at the conference.
Just put your name on the front of it, and you can take it. I think it's good to let people pass it around and see it. But if you want it back, you should just put your name on it.
Yeah, because I look at it when you took it to the conference. It has a lot of really good information.
It does.
So I will keep it. Thank you.
It's pretty pictures, just like National Geographic is known for. Beautiful pictures.
Okay.
So what is the topic of it? I mean, what's that?
Let me I have it over here on my bookshelf.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah.
You see it?
Oh, Your Genes.
Your Genes, a user's guide.
Oh.
And it's 100 things you never knew. So I can give you some examples. Like they have big numbers on each page, and it's little facts about DNA, and then there's articles with it as well.
And probably it's already there. Is that link on our group?
Yes, it's already there. It sure is. Yeah, this is something I just discovered this summer. It was a special edition. It's off the newsstands now, but you can still get it online. So it's one of those special. It's only it says, like, this one says display until November 2019. So it's only a limited time offering. So. Yeah. Anybody else have any questions? Or
Christy, I have a
comments?
couple of things I wanted to add to your calendar, just to let you know some things that we're doing. So on April 15th, we're having grand rounds at Children's Hospital. Dr. Hirano from Columbia University is going to be there. We're going to do a grand round focused on mitochondrial myopathies. And then they are trying to do a second grand round with genetics. And Dr. Larson will be presenting as well. I know he's presented with us with Mountain States several times. And we're going to try to get Dr. McCandless to attend as well.
Okay, sounds good.
We're going
That's
to
April 15th.
April 15th.
Okay.
We're going to have a panel, and that's open to anyone who would like to join. That will be at Children's Hospital. We're going to be sending details, but we'll be serving dinner, and it's a chance to meet with those specialists.
And I'm guessing watch your Facebook page or website for more details.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, and I'll send you the dates on that. Also, the United Mitochondrial Disease Foundation, this year they're having their symposium in Arizona.
Oh, okay, in our region. Awesome.
In our region. So usually it's on the East Coast, and this is having it in Phoenix.
Very cool. Do you have the dates yet for that? I can look them up if not.
It is, let me look. It's the last week in June.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me look at my granny journal here. It's the 24th through the 26th.
June 24th through the 26th?
Yes, actually family days are the 25th through the 27th. I apologize.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Welcome. It's a great symposium. It's focused on mitochondrial disease, but they have, their secondary mitochondrial issues as well that they'll talk about.
Perfect.
And it's in Sedona.
Where'd you say, Sedona or Arizona?
Arizona, it's in Phoenix.
Phoenix, okay. Awesome, got it down. I'm writing it down. Perfect.
Great.
All right, anything else, Winton or Marie or let's see, Jamie, Susan, anybody else have any upcoming events that we don't already have on the calendar that you want me to add?
Not that I know of.
Okay, no worries. All right. Do you guys, yeah, go ahead.
This one, I got just I guess they're pretty nice. It's about the child development.
Yes.
So can we pass this to any families? I mean, there's some, I think this is in Spanish, but I think you probably put the English one in there too. Maybe 3 or 4, I think I saw.
Yeah,
so we can pass it, right? Whoever.
Anything that's in the box can go to families. We don't need anything back.
Okay,
and if you find that you have, 4 families with young children and you only have 3 booklets, go to the website, because those booklets there are from the CDC, and it's called their, this is actually one of the ideas I have for one of the guest speakers I'd like to bring on. It's Learn the Signs, Act Early. I don't know how many of you on the call know about that program at the CDC, but it's a child development tracking program for families, so that families can have a conversation with their doctor if they're concerned about their child's development. What I learned just recently, though, is they have ambassadors for their program in every single one of our states, in all states in the United States. So I've just gotten the list of those people, and I'm going to be reaching out to them. But I thought one of the genetic ambassador calls might be nice to have some of them on to talk about the program. They have an app for your phone that you can use as well. You can download a free app. And really, to me, it ties together very well with genetics because of the things we've been doing with Mountain States, like the developmental delay algorithm. The fact that some families are going to notice some of these developmental milestones are not being met as a red flag to a genetic condition. And so their program, I think, ties nicely into ours in the fact that they have a lot of resources for families on like how to have a conversation with your doctor, what to say about the milestones. It's not about the genetics necessarily or the genetic testing, but it's the pre-conversation that needs to happen before the genetics. Kind of like Heather and I have had this conversation. Before you can think mito, you have to think genetics, and before you can think genetics, you have to think development. In some cases, so kind of taking it back a step on how families can have that communication with their pediatrician or primary care doctor.
Cool. So. Right. They're pretty nice. I like it.
And so if you go to the link,
yourself.
Yeah, if you go to the link that's on the website, I think I linked to the page where they have, let me see if I go to that. I think I went to the page where you can order all the materials. So let me share my screen again. Okay, so we're on the Gene in the Box. Can you see that? The Gene in the Box here. And CDC Learn the Signs Act Early, and then I click, it says click here. And then I went to the page of the materials page. So get free Learn the Signs Act Early materials. Here's the app, but all of these things are hyperlinked. So if you have a 4-month-old or 6-month-old, you can click on these checklists and it will pull up just that checklist of what they should be doing at 6 months. They have all these languages available: Vietnamese, Somali, Chinese, Haitian, Creole, Spanish, Arabic, and then the milestone booklets. And then there's an order online, and you can order these for free off the CDC's website as well.
Wow.
They have some children's books about development. They have, this one right here, I really like, How to Talk with Your Doctor, and that's available in a bunch of languages. And then they have some flyers for like pediatrician offices. These are more like flyers you put on a growth chart, different things you might put on they have WIC materials for WIC clinics. Anyway, there's tons. You can see I'm scrolling. They have tons and tons of materials for their program on here. And these are all free from the CDC. Yeah, go ahead.
Is that new since, because I was like showing our residents the algorithm page, which is a little bit difficult to navigate. This looks so much clearer, so much. So what's the difference between this one and then the other one? Because you still have tools for tracking.
Yeah, so this is a CDC program that is Learn the Signs Act Early.
Oh, you're over on the CDC website. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. So so this one is just for developmental milestones. So it doesn't, like I talked to their program managers, they don't talk anything about genetics on this page. So,
okay, I see.
So this is kind of the pre-conversation, right?
Yes, you're right. Okay.
So yeah, this is the CDC's program. But what I was saying is I think it ties nicely into our developmental delay algorithm, which is a little bit more of an advanced conversation, right? About talking genetics and genetic testing with your doctor after maybe you already know that the child has missed a couple milestones or there's some developmental delay present.
Yes. And what's good about the CDC, at least for me, is that when I was talking with the residents about the algorithm, there was a piece missing because they're still a little bleary-eyed and they're still in training, quote unquote. So I think like this is more user-friendly about getting to that subject. And then when they're then the other algorithm is a great resource once they're kind of familiar with milestones, because they're still kind of in training.
Well, and so what's interesting is this whole site, when I was talking with the folks that run it at the CDC, this whole site is based for parents. So I think it's perfect for the residents if they're in that learning stage, but really it's in parent language. It's in very simple. You do not have to be a medical professional at all to understand. Let me just pull up one of these and just show you like the 2-month checklist. What may babies do at this age? Begin to smile at people. There's a little camera there. You can click the camera and there's a picture of it.
Right.
So for they were telling me they did this because of certain languages. Certain things don't translate. And I know we've had this conversation, Maria, right? That certain things don't translate easily. So, but a picture does. This is a picture that says 1,000 words. Yeah.
And that would be a good tool if a doctor can't communicate, with words to a client, a patient.
And even videos. So Coos makes gurgling sounds. There's a video that you can play of what that is.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
So I think this is really helpful. And this is, just so you guys know, why we didn't include all of this stuff in our algorithm was because the geneticists who are writing it and putting it together and the pediatricians that were reviewing it did not feel that that was their place to tell a pediatrician how to diagnose a developmental delay. For a geneticist to tell a pediatrician how to diagnose a developmental delay, they were trying to stay in their lane, if you will, of what they know best. So they were really trying to focus that developmental delay algorithm on the genetics piece of it, hoping and praying that the pediatrician is already well versed at it, recognizing the milestones being missed and the developmental delay.
Okay. Would you kindly just like make a note that if they're going to do some revision and they want kind of input from our side of things, looking at it with the residents about what works and what doesn't work, I'd love to contribute.
Absolutely. I don't know what the plans are for the next grant cycle as far as updating. I do know, and I can let you guys know this, that soon hopefully before the end of this grant cycle, the second algorithm will be coming out, which is on hypermobile joints, which is another very common thing that pediatricians see and often make a referral to genetics for. So that's being worked on and finalized, should be out before the end of this grant cycle. So you can be looking for that one as well.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. I'm going to stop sharing now. So yeah. All right. Well, we're just coming to the last couple minutes before the top of the hour. Does anybody else have any questions or thoughts or ideas? Let me just ask you guys that are on the phone, would you like to hear from some of those Learn the Signs Act early ambassadors that are in our states that we might be able to collaborate with or see what they're doing out there? I mean, I feel like we're all kind of doing similar things. And so as long as we're in the same territory and doing the same things, we should know each other and not reinvent the wheel, especially if stuff already exists out there. We can share each other's stuff. Is that a yes?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Sorry, what did you say?
Sure.
Sure. I think everybody said sure at once. It sounded like
Christy, and just send you the flyer that Sylvia from a special family sent to me yesterday.
Okay.
So it looks pretty nice. It's in Spanish. I apologize. That's how they
that's okay.
pass it to the families. She forgot, or maybe she didn't catch that I want Jesus' name in there. But it's fine. I talked to Jesus about it, and I'm talking group of it about to ask Jesus. He wants to be included. So I send it to you. It's in Spanish, but it has the day, and basically they come out with the topic of the I think a basic information on genetics, because we were trying to figure out the name when I talked to you about it. So
that's okay.
I think she'll be okay.
Whatever you came up with, I'm sure will be.
So you have it, and they're working on the group of the flyer, so I will send it to you about the logo thing, and I will send it to you, okay?
Perfect, thank you. And I've got a note here to resend the pop-up flyer to Mary Meeker and to send the Tucson flyer to Winton for the Rare Disease Day event. Anybody else need me to send them anything? And Susan, I showed you where you can find the links, right? You saw that?
I just wanted to say, have you looked to see if there's an application that somebody has made that converts a video with English to Spanish subtitles? I mean, certainly somebody's done that.
That's a good question. Will you let us know if you can find it?
I'll try. I'll see if I can find it.
I found something the other day where you can convert a website to you put the website in Google Translator and it will convert the whole website to a different language.
And actually, when you told me, Christy, about the Google translation thing, remember you mentioned, I was playing with it. It doesn't look bad like it used to be years ago. It's actually getting better, because I was translating a few things and it wasn't bad, the translation.
Okay. So well, and my son showed me something too where you can take a picture. Is it Google Translator? Yeah. Hang on, he just got home from school. You can take a picture with your phone, and then it's like if it's a flyer, and then it will translate it for you.
A picture?
Send me one. So I'll get one in a second. So we'll try it on
your
flyer. It
finds the text on the picture?
Yes.
That's wild.
Well, we'll try it on your flyer that you send us, Maria. We'll try it. We'll see if it works, okay? You send us
that's
a
good idea.
flyer, and I'll see if I can read it.
Okay. Oh, interesting. We learned something today.
Something new every day.
Yes. Okay.
All right. Thank you all for joining us today. Did you have another question, Maria?
Yes. For the material that you send, I think there's a sheet that is a paper that it has all the links. There's not enough copies. So if I want to make copies of that paper, can I make copies or just a few?
Which one are you talking about?
I think there's a material that it has is just like a one material, but it's in English, and I think there's Spanish too. But if I want to make copies of that, because I think it's only like a 2. It's about the little cats. Remember the first translation that it was made? Yes. It's only like a 2 or 3, like a set maybe. So if I feel like I need it, can I make copies of that? Is that okay?
For sure. Yeah, you can make copies, or if you don't have a copy machine and you just want to print it off your printer, those are on that they're linked. You can click on it on that Gene in a Box page. You can click on it, and then it will, and then you can just print it off your printer. Whichever works
okay.
best for you.
Oh,
take
okay,
it,
got you.
or take it
Yes.
to Kinko's and copy
Okay.
it. Yeah, that's
Sure.
fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. I can do
Yeah.
that. I have a printer at home, so
Whatever is easiest for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, because I think I'm gonna need more than that, probably a few more.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you all. Have a good rest of your January, the last couple days of it.
Okay,
Thanks, you too.
You guys
All right.
too. Thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye. See you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.